We're in New Haven, Connecticut, just blocks away from Yale University, the home of the Levy Dental Group. Dr. John Levy, Crown Counsel, Charter, Qualified, Lifetime Member. So let's go in and take a look at this month's Practice of the Month. So we're in the reception room at Levy Dental Group. Here is the team. Say hey, everybody. And, of course, Dr. John.
Hey.
And, John, give us a little update. You've been in this location for how many years?
Let's see, it's 27 years.
27 years. And you just recently updated the whole interior of the office.
Yeah, we did. But you know what? We do this periodically anyway. About every 5 years we do a renovation. We like to put in new wallpaper, new carpet, a fresh look. This is what people like to see. They want to see that things are clean and operating, and if it's clean out here, then they assume that things are pretty good in the treatment rooms.
All right, so give us some of the highlights. You did some nice little amenities here in front. Let's go over here and tell us about the chair over here on the wall, the school desk chair.
So this was actually great. The patients actually loved this. When they, we had actually hired a decorator. And I think one of the things that people comment about is the colors of the office. They say it's very soothing.
Yeah.
But these were chairs that they actually saw somewhere in another reception room up in Danbury, Connecticut, which is about an hour away. And when they saw this, they said, "Oh, this is kind of neat." And it really is. Patients love this chair because they can put a coffee on here. They can put their laptop on,
their iPad, whatever,
they
yeah.
do whatever they want, and it's extremely comfortable. We have actually people who come in here and they'll just like stay.
That's great.
We have a coffee machine. We give them coffee. We have some cookies, but they think this is like a Starbucks or one of those coffee houses, and they can just relax. So it's quite
very cool. To your right, let's go to the other chair. This because there's some science behind.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
My left.
Your left, to my right.
Okay.
So to your left. So tell us about the arms, the chairs for the arms.
Chairs for the elderly population. What's unique about this, they're a little bit wider than a conventional chair, but that's not really the true highlight. The true highlight is, of course, the shape of the arms. And the shape of the arms make it very easy for a elderly person, as you're getting out, because they're on a slope down, they could actually slide their hands down and move up like this. And
very cool.
Pretty good.
All right,
being
then.
sensitive to the population.
Over here, you got a third kind of chair.
This is our bariatric chair, and you can't say. I mean, we have some heavy patients in our practice that probably most of you have, and you don't want to say, fat people sit here. So what we did is we put in a love seat, which is nice, and this way I have to sit over really tight myself. But I kind of spread a little bit too, but it's nice. So our bariatric patients feel comfortable. It's not like only fat people sit here. It's like, I'll sit anywhere and they feel at home. And that's really the key, is make them feel at home. And I think this is a very homey feeling.
Very cool. You did some branding. I don't know how long ago you did your branding. How long have you had your logo?
The logo is probably about 2 years.
2 years old. And you've got it everywhere. Got it on the floor, you got it on the walls, you got it on your new patient forms, you got it everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where it is.
As long as you're showing the logos, you show a little bit of the carpeting.
You got it.
And what do you think is unique about the carpeting, Steve?
It is textured.
It's not. These are squares.
So these are carpet squares.
These are carpet squares.
Can't tell they're carpet squares.
No, it's actually great, and so it's effective in the sense that if something happens, I could just take up one of these squares, and I can put another square down.
Don't have to replace the whole
and I
thing.
don't have to replace the whole carpet.
Very
So
cool.
it keeps me cleaner for a longer period of time, and it's very cost effective.
Excellent.
So it was a good investment. It was good advice.
So, Dr. John, you just got done remodeling your whole office, and so this is kind of an unusual question. There's a lot of things you like about your setup. Tell us what you don't like that you would have done differently.
Well, a few things. First of all, in this treatment room, even though it's fairly new, we would say we would like a sink on the assistant side.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And, we put them in for the others, and we said, oh, you know what? why don't we do it here? So you save, maybe $1,200, but it's $1,200. It's not worth saving. You just say, I should have spent the money. We put these television monitors, which we could also show them what's on our own screens if we want to show some x-rays, and we can have them watch TV while we're doing this, and this kind of swivels, and it seems kind of nice, and they have these, but I have to tell you, when the patient is down, the only one who's watching TV is my assistant.
But not Nancy.
Not
Yeah.
me.
So if I had to do this over again, and we did do it over again, and you'll see in some of the other rooms, we actually have monitors
That are up high.
Up high, and the patients can see as they're looking down. So not on the track lights,
But up high.
but up high.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we're in the hygiene room, and this is what you're talking about. Your preference now is monitor up above in front of the patient, so the patient chair is right
And
here.
not hanging down, because we have one of those. but
Right.
This is a less cluttered look. Nice big screen, 32-inch screens, very cost effective.
Yeah.
They're not that expensive anymore.
Right.
The LED screens.
Hey, no, come right in. You're
Oh.
good.
You're good.
Sarah, you're
I'm
good.
gonna
We're
ask
just
you a few things.
Yeah. So Sarah,
Yeah.
you've been here how
But-
long?
Oh, I'm going to be on camera?
Absolutely. How long you been here?
It's 4 years this month.
4 years, and you've been out of hygiene school how long?
8 years.
8 years.
Oh,
What do you love about Levy Dental Group?
The flexibility, that we're team orientated, because I came from an office that was not. I love the people I work with. Everything.
Very good.
Dr. Levy, of course.
On
I'm
cue
pointing
there.
to myself.
You got it. That's
Okay.
great. Perfect. Thank you.
So we were talking actually about the monitors. Here's an example where we actually have we have a couple of things in this room. The first is we have the ability that anything that she shows up on the screen as far as an intraoral or an x-ray, she can just click a button and it goes to a printer directly at my reception station up front.
So the patient can have it.
So they know that when when the patient walks out, we want to give them a photo
Got it.
of what we saw, and that helps, because when they go home and the spouse will say, "Okay, how was your visit today?" "Oh, it was okay," and they gave me this little packet, and they look through the packet and say, "Oh, what is this?" And they see a fractured tooth or
Yeah.
something, and they say, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" And
There you
so it really. It's good. It's good information. People today like to look and touch and feel, and they research this on the internet. They want photos. They like that. In addition, we have a printer, and then we put in cameras onto our monitors, so we actually can Skype each other in the office.
We did that today, as a matter of fact.
Yes, to a new level.
Yeah, we
So
did.
we can Skype each other, which is kind of neat, and so it's good to see the person behind the voice or the. We also do text messaging back and forth. We have a program called Spark. It's a free program, but we spark each other.
Very cool.
So it's good communications.
Your name has been in this community for, we figured, 65 years? Almost 65 years.
Between me and my father and myself,
Your dad was dentist in World War II,
Yeah.
Set up shop here in New Haven?
Yep, right after the war, he set up shop.
and you,
I kind of got into it. I didn't start out as a dentist.
yeah,
I started out as a chemist,
really?
and this was it wasn't great. I really wasn't a great chemist. It was like mediocre. And at one point, Beverly and I, that's my wife, Beverly and I sat down and we said, "I'm not going to make it in chemistry. What else can I do?" And I said, "Well, let's try dentistry." And we applied together and to dental school. And she was still when we were married, she was in her junior year, going into her senior year of college. So it goes back quite a bit.
What did you, in terms of dentistry, what are the most valuable things that you learned from your dad as a dentist?
My father, that's an excellent question, and I didn't give it any thought until now, but my father would bend over backwards. I guess you would say, your relatives will go to the mat for you. And my father would go to the matchery, and he was always watching my back. And I think that's an important thing. It wasn't about his success. I think they get a lot of pleasure out of their children's successes. And I think he got a lot of pleasure if I was going to be successful, there was a glow in his face. And I think that's probably the way you feel about your own children.
Sure.
When they're doing good, you're doing good. I always say, you're only as happy as your least happy child,
Yeah.
which also means when your children are really happy, you're really happy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's good, but there's a unique relationship that happens when you're with a family member, and I think it's only positive. So it's good.
Give us the Levy formula for building a great dental practice. You have the practice in New Haven. Give us the 3 or 4 top things that you would...
You kind of flatter me, but I'll tell you what we do. We hire for attitude. They have to be happy. There's certain skills that I can teach, and there's certain things I can't teach.
Yeah.
So we hire for attitude, we hire for customer service, and we hire people who will leave their egos at the door and allow to be coached, and then once they get skilled, we want them to teach other people those skills, and so they're willing to teach others, so to be coached, and to coach and be coached. And it's really weird. They do treat each other like, they are family,
Yeah.
but they go out and socialize, they're over at each other's houses, this is their life. And we usually, some businesses say, when you go through the door, we want you to keep your baggage of home outside.
Right.
But we know that you can't do that, and so we really take care of them. We know who's in therapy. We know even the meds that they're on. We know all about their children, and they share it all. And when they're having a bad day, we can't say, forget it, you have to be an actor. No, the children are sick, or their children are going through a hard time, and the whole team just jumps right to it. I'm do good is I get a lot of credit for things that only because I surround myself by good players, but it's my team that's good, and it's not me. I always say that I can't operate without them. Is that you may say, hey, I'm really great, but I look at it a little bit differently. I said, if they decided not to show up to work one day, I know how to do the work, but I can't really do it without them.
Right.
So I really need them, and I need every one of them. And it doesn't really matter, what they're doing, whether they're a hygiene assistant, a hygienist, an assistant, a front desk. I can't function unless the whole team is functioning. It's almost like baking a cake. I have to have all the ingredients together at the right temperatures in order for the cake to come out really good. I can't say, well, I'm one ingredient short, and hopefully it'll come out the same. It's not going to happen.
One of the remarkable things is you take great care of them, they take great care of each other. All of that is invisible to the patients. In other words, patients wouldn't know anything that's going on with your team because the culture around here is the patients come in, have a good time, they laugh, they joke around with you. It's all about the patient when it comes to game time. It really
there's
is.
No question. The patients like it here. They like the atmosphere. There's not a week that goes by. I don't necessarily say it is a day, but there's not a week that goes by that we don't get a patient who says, "I'd love to work here."
Yeah, it is a great environment. Great environment to work and a great environment to come as a patient.
Yeah, I once had a patient ask me how many people work here, and I said, half. That's not really true, but it was.
All of them, actually. They all work here.
Yes.
If you were going to boil it down to one thing, if you had one thing that has been the most meaningful to you, that has been the most important thing to build a great dental practice for John Levy, it would be what?
It would probably be if you're nice to people, and it rewards you. I think that's in general nature.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be with the dental practice, but I think you just have to portray however you want to be treated, how you want to treat your team and your patients. I think that rewards you many times over. I think it comes back to you with referrals. It's very helpful.
Got it. Thank you.